Dear students, today we'll discuss about applications of graph structure. And this is one of the important concept for semester exams. Here we are having two types of applications. One is called shortest path problem, and another one we'll discuss topological sorting. So another one is topological sorting. So these two we are considering applications of graphs. So the first one is shortest path problem. So these applications will help us to find out the shortest path from one vertex to another vertex. Here we are having three types of algorithms. One is called Warshaw's algorithm, another one is called Floyd's algorithm. Also we call it as a Floyd's-Warshaw's algorithm also. Others, second one also simply we can say that Warshaw's algorithm only. Someone may pronounce it as a Floyd's algorithm or Floyd's-Warshaw's algorithm or Warshaw's algorithm also. So what's the difference between the first one and second one is, in first one we don't have weights for the graph. In second one we have weights. That's only the difference. Simply we say that so Floyd's algorithm is an advanced version of Warshaw's algorithm. Simply, and sometimes they represent both are same only. And third one is Dijkstra's algorithm. So maximum so we'll consider and discuss Dijkstra's algorithm. So maximum they will ask for exams. Okay, and we'll discuss remaining these two also, but we'll concentrate more on this one. So we have some problems on this one. So in examination there is a chance to ask this one. So Warshaw's algorithm, we call it as a classical algorithm which can be determined whether there is a path from any vertex vi to another vertex vj. So the functionality of this algorithm is to find that whether is there any path from vertex vi to vertex vj. It may be either a direct path or indirect path. So if we want to find out indirect path, we'll use this type of calculation. Here I am finding the path to vertex 1 to vertex 4. Vertex 1 to vertex 4. So we'll take some p of 1 4 equal to p of 1 4 or it indicates or p of 1 2 and p of 2 4. So where we'll get p of 1 4, p of 1 2, p of 2 4? With the help of adjacency matrix. Assume it, here we found one graph and this is an adjacency matrix. So when I want to find that whether we have the path from 1 to 4, so it is only the method to find whether we have the path. If I want to check whether we have the path from 1 to 4, simply p of 1 4 means 1 to 4. So p of 1 to 4, here 1 to 4. So 1 4, we found the value 0. We'll place here. Or p of 1 2. So 1 2, the value is 1. We'll place value 1 here. And p of 2 4. So p of 2 4, 2 4, value is 1. So we'll place the value here. So 0 or 1 and 1. 1 and 1 indicates 1. 0 or 1 means 1 will take. Means there is a path to travel from vertex 1 to vertex 4 in indirect way. Okay. So 1 to 4 means through 1 to 2, then 2 to 4 we can travel. So we found that one. So it indicates 1. Like that, all indirect paths, we can find that one, whether we have it or not. And finally, we'll fill one matrix which indicates whether we have the path from particular vertex to vertex, another vertex or not. For example, vertex 1 to 1, 0 means we don't have. Vertex 1 to 2, we have. 1 to 3, we have. 1 to 4, we have. 1 to 5, we have. How we are going to calculate? With this one. Okay. So we'll find, just simply we'll find the possible paths, whether we have it or not. Is there any chance to go with or not? That's all. Same for 2 to 1, 2 to 2, 2 to 3, 2 to 4, 2 to 5. Like 3 to 1, 3 to 2, 3 to 3, 3 to 4, 3 to 5. So when observe here, only 3 to 4 we have, remaining all are 0. Why? Because we can't travel from that vertex to remaining. For example, if I want to travel from 3 to 1, so how we can go? From 3 to 4 we need to go, and from 4 we don't have any option to travel. Why? Because we don't have outing, only incoming is there, so not possible. Only 3 to 4 only possible. And from 4 we don't have any outing, so for all it indicates 0. So like that we'll calculate. It is in a Warshall's algorithm, and to check whether is there any path from particular vertex to another vertex. Okay, simply by seeing the graph itself we'll construct this matrix. Next is Floyd's-Warshall algorithm. So it is in a very famous algorithm, and which is used to find the shortest path, used to solve the all pairs shortest path. So this algorithm will work with weighted graphs. Okay, so if I want to find the shortest to travel from one vertex to another vertex, with the help of Floyd-Warshall algorithm we can find it. Okay, so mainly its advantages is extremely simple and easy to implement. Very easily we can implement this algorithm. Okay, so once I'm repeating, the Floyd-Warshall algorithm is used to solve the all pairs shortest path problem. So if I want to find the shortest path from one vertex to another vertex, so with the help of Floyd-Warshall algorithm we can find it. Here we have an example. We'll go through this one. So here we have one graph, and which represents all the edges and with their weights also, weights or else distance, whatever we can find it. Now we'll process how we can going to solve this one. First, you should keep in mind that it should not have any self loops and parallel edges also. So parallel edges and self loops, if there anything there, then we need to remove that one. So first we need to remove any loops and parallel edges are there. Then after we need to write the initial distance matrix, and we call it as a D naught. So in distance matrix, so it will find the distances between from one vertex to another vertex. But At the time of filling the distance matrix, you should keep in mind these all things. So for diagonal elements, means if which is representing self loops, the distance value will be 0. And the vertices which are having the direct edge between them, then whatever the weight they have, they will mention it. And the vertices have no direct edge between them. If they don't have direct edge, then we'll make it as a infinity. We'll make it as a infinity. So we found this one. So those are having direct. So diagonal edges are formed with 0. And those who are having direct will mention the weight of that one. Sorry, this one. And those don't have direct path will mentioned as a infinity. And then after, so we need to calculate, we need to find out the distance matrices to number of vertices what we are having up to now. Here we have 4 vertices. So we need to calculate D1, D2, D3, D4. First I will explain how to calculate for D1, and the remaining same thing will apply for remaining also. So in D1, copy the row 1 and col 1 of D0 into D1. So assume it, I found D1. So D1 is work for row 1 and column 1. We need to copy as it is, means 0, 8, infinity, 1. Here infinity, 4, infinity. So if you are calculating for D2, row 2 column 2 will copy. If you are calculating for D3, row 3 column 3 will copy. If you are calculating for D4, row 4 column 4 will copy as it is from previous. If you are calculating for D2, work with D1. If you are calculating for D3, work with D2. If you are calculating for D4, work with D3. Now I am calculating for D1, that's why I am working with D0. So in row 1, observe that any infinity present in row 1, infinity values here I found. So just copy of that row from D0 to D1. So these values means 1, 0, 9 will copy. Similarly, in column 1, observe that any infinity present in column 1. If you found, just copy of that column from D0 to D1. Here I found 2 infinities. So here and here, just you will copy that one. So 0 is there, infinity is there. When it comes to this one, 2, 0 is there. And the remaining we have here. So fill the remaining entries with sum of corresponding row value and corresponding column value. So here 4 plus 8, how much? 12. 4 plus 1, how much? 5. So now I found D0, D1. Similarly, we need to work with D2, D3 and D4 with the help of D1, D2, D3. So if you observe, the same thing is applied here. So next, if I want to perform for D2, same. So we need to get this value and this value we kept. Then what we need to identify? Here in this row, any infinity is there. Here infinity is there. Then what we need to do? We need to copy all the thing as it is here. So 0 I kept here, 4 I kept here, infinity I kept here. I found another infinity here. So what we need to do? Same, apply 1 here, 5 here, 0 here. So in this way, do you have any infinities? No. So, and what about remaining columns which are not available? Just we need to find that one. So here 9 is don't have. So how we can find out? Here. So this is a way where we'll get D2. Similarly, for D3 and D4, we need to calculate. So whatever the remaining things, for example, here I will go with D2. D2 equal to, so 1, 2, 3, 4 is there. 1, 2, 3, 4 is there. So second row means here 8, 0, 12, 2 I kept, and here infinity, 0, 1, infinity. What we need to do? So need to find the infinity. Here we found, so need to copy that one as is. 0, infinity, 4, infinity will come. Here also we found the infinity, so 1, infinity, 5, 0 will come. Same like that. Here do we have any infinities? No. Then we need to fill the values. So this one with this one. So two, three. So we'll get 9 here, and then here 0, then here 3 we got. So 2 plus 1, 3, 8 plus 1, 9, and 0 as it is we got from here. So that's that. So this is a way of filling the thing. The same like that we go with D3 depending on D2. Similarly, we'll go with D4 also. So if you work with D1, in the similar way we need to work with remaining things. Four plus 8, 12. Okay, so this is about Floyd-Warshau's algorithm. So what we need to do? So first we need to construct D0 with the help of given matrix. So construction of D0 will perform. If there is a direct path, then we'll mention the weight of that path. If it is a self loop, means a triangle, then we'll make it as a 0. If you don't have any direct path, then we'll make it as a infinity. So same like that, we'll go with D1. So in D1, first we need to copy the row 1 and column 1 of D0 and D into D1. Then in row 1, observe that any infinity present in row 1. If you found just copy of that row from D0 to D1. Same like that, in column 1, if you observed any infinity, just you found just copy of that column from D0 to D1. So fill the remaining entries with sum of corresponding row value and corresponding column value. So corresponding row value and corresponding column value will do, and similarly we'll perform with remaining things. So this is about this is the final result, which we got D4. So here we found total the distances from one vertex to another vertex to travel. Similarly, we have Dijkstra's algorithm. So Dijkstra's algorithm, which is also used to find the shortest path. But here the difference between Floyd's-Warshall's algorithm and Dijkstra's algorithm is, so here if you found any shortest path, will keep there itself. So we no need to consider reconsideration is not there, but in Dijkstra's algorithm we have reconsideration. Means already if you calculated any path from one vertex to another vertex, in future if we found any shortest path to travel from that vertex to another vertex, then we'll replace the path from previous one to new one. That's only the difference between compare other things. So here we'll discuss with one example. So here what we do is, so we'll find the distance from to travel from one vertex to another vertex. Okay, and here we'll maintain one queue, so to mention which are the vertices we visited. Okay, so this is an example to find the shortest path on the given graph using Dijkstra's algorithm. So here first we can start with A, and the distance is 0, and we'll mark the remaining distance with infinity. So this is a starting point which we do. Here we did here, and we got one queue which is initialized with startingly it was having empty, but we'll visited this one, so that's why we kept s equal to A. Then after we need to find out the neighbors adjacent vertices to B. Here we have adjacent vertices to A is B and E. B and E. Then we find the minimum path. Earlier it is infinity, so min of infinity comma now it is 10. So min of infinity comma 10 is 10. For here also earlier it is infinity, so infinity comma 3 is 3. So we calculated, and among these two things, among these two adjacent vertices, we need to find one adjacent vertex to proceed, but which is having less weight, we'll choose that one. So among B and E, we found E is having less weight, so we'll consider that one. Okay, to travel to proceed next. So we'll consider E. Again from E we found the neighbors. Neighbors are B, C and D. Okay, so we'll calculate the paths. So here when you observed here from A to B, if you traveled earlier we have 10. Now we'll go 3 plus 1. 3 plus 1, 4. So the minimum among 10 and 4 is 4. Similarly, we'll calculate for here. Earlier it is infinity, now it is 3 plus 2, 5. Again we'll calculate for C. Earlier it is infinity, now it is 3 plus 8, 11. Now we have adjacent vertices of E is B, C, D. Among these we need to choose one. Now we'll choose B. Why? Because it is having less weight. So now we chosen B. So from B we need to find adjacent vertices. Adjacent vertices are C only we have. From B we have only C and E also. C and E also, but E already we found. That's why we'll consider C. So earlier for path from minimum is 11. Okay, now to travel from A to E 3, from E to A B 4, sorry 1. So 3 plus 1 4, 4 plus 2 6. So this is the minimum path to travel from A to C. Earlier it is 11, now it is 6. And now we need to find out adjacent vertices to C. So adjacent vertices to C we have D only. So we'll consider D. So when it comes to D, the path is, so from A to C it found, sorry, earlier we have 5. Earlier we have 5. Okay. And from now, from A to C we found 6. Plus C to D 9. 6 plus 9. So it is 14. The minimum is 5. So here we contain all the vertices which we visited. And now it is 5. So this is the final graph. And here we find the path from A to B, A to C, A to E, A to D. So to travel from A to A, it is 0. To travel from A to B, it is 4. To travel from A to E, it is 3. Okay. To travel from A to C, it is 6. To travel from A to E, it is 5. So here we found the shortest path to travel from vertex A to remaining all vertices with the help of this one. Okay. So this is about Disastrous algorithm. It is one of the most important algorithm, and they will ask for examination also. So here what we did, just we found the minimum path. So what we did here, initially we mentioned as infinity path from A to remaining all vertices, and then I found the adjacent vertices to A, and I calculated the path. So initially I found adjacent vertices to A is B and E. So then B is replaced with 10 and A is replaced with 3 to travel. And then after I found adjacent vertices to E, B, C, D. And I found the which is the minimum path to travel from A to that particular vertex. Okay. So this is about Disastrous algorithm. And the algorithm time complexity is big O of E log B. Okay. So which is one of the most important. Just do practice on this one, then only we can able to understand clearly. Next one is topological sorting. So it is a directed acyclic graph for linear ordering of vertices. So here if you have any directed edge UV, vertex U comes before V in the ordering. So generally if you found any edge UV, then in topological sorting vertex U comes before V in ordering. Okay. So and this topological sorting is only applied for directed acyclic graph. Okay. So and for every graph we may found different type of topological orderings, means how we can travel sorting process. Okay, we may found different and the applications of topological sorting is scheduling algorithms and instructions scheduling and determining the order of compilation tasks to perform make files and data serialization. These are the applications for topological sorting. Here what we are doing is just we are finding the sorting process. So to visit the one graph, what is the process we need? Just we find the sorting process from, so which node to which node we need to travel. So to go with source to destination. This is only the very simple thing. Just we go with an example. So find the number of different topological orderings possible for the given graph. This is a graph. So everywhere it is nothing but we need to process it. Here we need to find out the vertex which is having the in degree as 0. Okay. Here the vertex A is having in degree 0. Then what we'll do is, so we'll remove that one from the graph and we'll remove the edges also which is related to that graph. Okay, so here I found integrity of vertex A. So starting we'll found the integrity for all vertices. Here it is 0, for this it is 1, for this it is 2, for this it is 2, for this it is 2. So if we found integrity of vertex 0 more than 1, then we go with separate process. We'll discuss later about that one. Now we found only one, that is A. So vertex A has the least integrity. So we remove vertex A and its associated edges. So if I remove vertex A and its associated edges, then what will be the graph? This will be the graph. I kept separately A. And again, we need to calculate integrities for each edge, sorry, each vertex. So for B it is 0, for C1, D1, E2. Then again we will repeat the same process, which is having vertex, integrity is 0, we'll remove from here and we'll remove the edges also. So A, B will come here and this is a graph. So here again we need to calculate integrity. For C it is 0, D it is 0, E it is 2. So when you observe here, we found 2 vertices which is having integrity 0. Then now we need to go with 2 cases simultaneously. From case C will consider 1, 1, another case will consider D. So there are 2 vertices with least integrity. So follow 2 cases. In case 1, remove vertex C and its associated edges. In case 2, remove vertex D and its associated edges. So if I consider C, if I remove associated edge here, then DE will come. If I consider D, if I remove adjacent vertex here, then CE will come. So it's happened. Again we'll calculate integrity. So for this it is 0, it is 1. For this it is 0, it is 1. Then what we'll do? Again we'll remove it and we'll plus that one. So A, B, C, D will come here. Here A, B, D, C will come here. Okay. And finally we have only vertex E that will be added. Why? Because it is don't have anything. It is also having index 0. Sorry, integrity is 0. So it will add here. So here I found 2 paths. One is called ABCDE, another one is called ABDCE. ABDCE. So these are the topological orderings. Okay. So this is the last concept. And now I will discuss just overview what we discussed today. So we discussed about Warshall's algorithm. So Warshall's algorithm, what we'll do, whether to find that whether we have direct path or indirect path from one vertex to another vertex to travel. And another we'll discuss about Floyd's-Warshall's algorithm. Here what we do, so we'll find the shortest path to all pairs. Okay. So with the help of adjacency matrix. So what we are doing is, so we'll, for example, if we are having 4 vertices, we'll calculate D0. It is adjacency matrix to the given graph, and then D1, D2, D3, D4. So if you're going with D1, what we'll do, so it will copy first row, first column from D0 as it is in D1. Then if you found any infinity is there on particular row or particular column, simply I will copy that row or that column from D0. Then after, if any empty pairs, empty list are there, just will sum of row and column value and will place there. Okay, this is the process. Floyd-Warshall's algorithm. And Dijkstra's algorithm is there. So in Dijkstra's algorithm, what we'll do is, it is also finding the shortest path from one node to another node. But the thing is, here we find the minimum shortest path. So if initially I calculated one path and some with distance, and again in future if I found any shortest path, means any shortest distance, then I will replace with that one. That is functionality of Dijkstra's algorithm. Okay. So, and we discussed about topological sorting. So topological sorting is nothing but so linear ordering of vertices, which is the ordering of vertices will found. So a particular graph, it may contain more than one order, so that will found here, and here the graph should be directed as a click graph. Okay, and we discussed about applications. Applications are scheduling jobs and instruction scheduling and determining the order of compilation and data serialization. These are all the applications. So here what we did, so if they provided any graph, first we need to find out the indegrees of each vertex, and the vertex which is having integrity 0, so we'll remove from graph and we'll place it separately, and also we'll remove the edges also, and then we found another graph. Again we'll repeat the process same like that. So if there is a chance to get more than one vertex with integrity as 0, then we go with different cases, and we discuss that one also. Okay, so this is about unit 3, and next class onwards we go with unit 4. And if you have any doubts, feel free to ask me.